recently purchased 12 acres and it came with this abandoned barn. Now, the only thing keeping us from accessing this property from our original property is a small creek. Now, in this video, we're going to build a bridge across that creek, push a trail through the woods to access this side of the property to make this one big property. Right now, the only access we have is the road frontage, and that means we have to go out our driveway, down this road a quarter mile, and bring any type of equipment, material, whatever we're doing here that way. So, brought in the big guns today. I have my Bobcat T770, got a grapple and a couple buckets over there on the trailer that I'll get off. I'm gonna try to run down this side of the property. The one property marker is right over there and there. So I'm probably at least 50 to 75 feet away from it. I'm gonna go around this side of the barn. There are a lot of openings and a lot of mature trees down through here. So I'm hoping I can kind of just zigzag through, not have to take down a lot, and get myself down to where the creek is. And then I'll have a good idea on what it's gonna look like for the bridge that I need. So that was the easy part. I was some light brush that the machine had no problem with. We get down here, starting to run into some vines, starting to run into the trees that I am pushing up. They're actually starting to get caught up in things. So I'm gonna cut some of these things up and then start kind of determining my path. The property markers are over there, and I will start making some form of an S because I don't want it to be a straight shot down to the end of the trail here. So we're gonna start weaving back, and then I'll find another way to cut back the other way, but it's just a slow process of clearing, pushing, and cutting along the way. Made it down to the bottom. This is rough, really roughed in. I've got a bunch of trees to cut and clean up and make it look a lot better. But I wanted to go down here and show you kind of what I was talking about with this creek. This is the creek that runs along the property that now this section of it, and it wraps up there, is now ours because the property line would cut across the creek up a little further. So we've got all this now, and this is the part that I will build a bridge across, because if you can see up there, right up through here, I've got a few small trees there. You see the skid steer up there. Decent little incline, but I feel like hopefully the golf cart will make it until we have a side-by-side that can make it up here with no problem. But I'll walk you back up through and kind of show you the roughed in trail. I think it's pretty cool. Good morning. Today is bridge day. Last night, went to the lumberyard, picked up some material. I have some 6x6 by 16s, a couple 2x10 by 16s, and down there I have some 2x8 by 8s that I use for the decking. I really wanted to use my sawmill and cut the decking for this, but with wanting to get this project at least started, I decided to just do dimensional lumber this time. If I do some other improvements to it, we can think about doing some sawmill lumber, but for right now, we're going to use this material so we can try to get this project done and move on to actually cleaning up around that old barn. So now the trick I have is getting all of this down through the trails here and way down there to the corner where I need to get this material. So I'm gonna try a couple things to get this material down there without having to manually move every one of these pieces. So that's what I'm gonna work on first. All right, so we got the lumber moved down here, which was very nice that it went that smoothly. It's somewhat staged and out of the way. So now we have to work on going through this area here, a couple small trees, a little holly here, a little sweet gum, push right through these, no issue, and get down into where we're gonna start working on prepping the area to get these 6x6 beams. Right over here, had the little Chinese mini excavator that has shown to actually be quite useful in a couple of these situations. I'm going to take that down there and kind of scratch at the area to where the beams are going to sit, and then that way they'll lay flat. Kind of want to lay some pavers down, and that way the 6x6s won't be sitting on the actual ground. All right, well, that was actually a lot of work, at least for us here, getting these support beams across and getting them fairly level, getting the blocks up. I don't know if this is the best way. I will tell you that this is a how I channel, not a how-to channel. So we're going to start putting a few of these decking boards, these 2x8s on top here. I'm gonna get a few done today, and then I'll finish up tomorrow. We gotta run out, but at least this will get it secure, kind of let me know if there's any weaknesses in here. But get a few of these popped in, and we'll be well on our way. it feels good to be done with that part right there. That was quite a bit of work, and I think it actually turned out really well. Let's take a look at it. So walking right through here, this is where the wire ran across a couple small trees, and so got rid of that, no problems. Pushed off over there. Got this graded out, fairly decent. Needs a little bit of work, but it's so much better. There was a high spot right through here, and then there was a decent size little gap between the bridge and the dirt right here. Have that filled in with some riprap, push the dirt to it. Nice and smooth transition now. Same thing on the other side. There's a decent little drop off on this end. So had some red dirt that we filled in right here. Can pack that in. It's going to pack nicely. Fill it in some wood chips. It'll be nice smooth transition on this side as well. Now, the only thing I run into, decent little roots, and you really can't tell on camera, but they almost make like a step right there. And so when you're driving across, it's gonna be a problem. And there is a decent little incline as we go up to that part of the trail there. So I'm gonna try to work on busting those out. I'd like to use a skid steer to do that. Just not quite ready to drive that across the bridge yet. There are a few more improvements to make this sturdy. One being, I wanna add some supports underneath the center right there. So I'm gonna work on that. But I really feel like all of this was well worth it to connect our two properties. Now we can get across with equipment and material and anything like that and get up there to do the work on that old abandoned barn. Before, as I mentioned, we had to run across out our driveway, down the road a little bit, and I just felt like, especially with the kids trying to go over there by themselves, it wasn't safe. So spending the time to do this was well worth it. And now I just got to clean up that trail so we have easy access over there to that barn. The last thing we have to do here is we'll take a little ride, and I'll show you what it looks like from start to finish.